Before shiny hunting, Nuzlocke, and VGC, there was really only one thing I cared about when playing Pokemon, and that was catching them all. Now, 20 years later, that feeling has resurfaced with Alcremie. Alcremie has 63 forms, and as a shiny hunter, I have to get the shiny version of each one too, which in total is 126 different Alcremie. And I set out to catch them all. I start off with catching the normal Milcery. These cream puffs are found in Scarlet and Violet's Blueberry Academy's snow biome. Now, the 63 Milcery that are non-shiny could be done pretty easily with an encounter sandwich, but I wanted to spice things up a bit, so for every non-shiny Milcery I catch, I'm making a rule it has to have a mark. Before our hunt, we get our own sweet from the local bakery, and we're off. We get catching and catching and catching, and when you can see if they're marked with the DLC upgrade we got, all of our marked Milcery are found within 2 hours. And after tallying up all the marks, we ended with 20 uncommon, 14 snowy, 12 dawn, and then a bunch of fun marks. The more rare marks that I enjoyed would be the smiley mark, the pumped up mark, the angry mark, and even the rare mark. And now that half of our collection is done, the non-shiny portion, we have to move on to the harder task at hand. We need to catch 63 shiny Milcery. And I love my false swipe Meowth, but I wanted a new Pokemon to lead my party for this hunt. So I took off to finding a shiny Kleavor. I love the look since the shiny, it looks like Scyther, but it's just as cool as Kleavor is. And eventually we end up finding it. An eye catcher, and I name her Chef since she's gonna be helping me cook not only a lot of Milcery, but a lot of shiny sandwiches for this hunt. But back to shiny Milcery. While there was an outbreak event December 21st, 2023 that could make shiny Milcery 1 in 144, we don't have that luxury because it's 2025. So the best I can do is use a Sparkling Power 3 sandwich with my shiny charm, which gives me a 1 in 683 chance to see a shiny. If you're keeping track at home, that means I should expect to see 43,029 Milcery before I get the 63 shinies needed. And I want the ultimate collection, so I'm going to be catching at least one of these shinies in each type of Pokeball. Then we get the first shiny of many yet to come, and we get hunting. We catch Milcery in everything from a friend ball, to a safari ball, to a master ball, and we even run into some random shinies along the way. Between our sandwiches, we find a Porygon. We also found this Lapras when an event was going on. And eventually we catch every Milcery in every type of Pokeball. But we're only a third of the way done. I'm realizing some really hard aspects to this hunt. I like to think shiny Milcery is a noticeable shiny. You can definitely tell that it looks a lot more milky than creamy, but because of how small they are and how different they look depending on the lighting and the time of day and the shadows, it's really hard to spot the shiny. So my rule of thumb is I'm not messing with them if they're on the water because they all look shiny to me. And then if they're next to these glowing structures, they also look shiny, so I kind of avoid those. Which leads to the slower but more effective method of running by slow enough that I can have the Milcery turn and I can check their eyes to see if they're black. I didn't expect to struggle telling the shinies apart, but when you're hunting for hours and hours, your eyes can start to forget what is and isn't shiny. But as a motivator, I get a package in the mail, and it's a Milcery. Yes, so now she's on top of my computer watching over me as I collect my army of Milcery. And after a month of hunting, we lock in. And we've done it. All but one Milcery are left, and I want the last Milcery to be something special, something that I can evolve into Alcremie and add it to my Scarlet team permanently. To do so, we return to Alcremie's homeland. the land of Galar. While we've been hunting at the 1 in 683 odds, to make the last one special, I wanted to hunt it full odds, so 1 in 4096. So not only are the odds a lot worse to get the shiny Milcery, but also in these games the encounters are a lot slower because they don't have any overworld shinies like Scarlet and Violet do. But I am determined. Since I had the shiny charm, I boot up a new save file for Shield and we name ourselves Milcery Fan. And as we progress through the early game, I get my starter who will be helping me catch shiny Milcery, and I named them Milcery Fan 2. In Milcery Fan 2, and I play through the game, beating trainers, even evolving Milcery Fan 2, and then finally we reach Route 4, right before the first gym. And in this route, you can see an overworld Pumpkaboo, Electrike, even a Pikachu and Eevee, but no overworld Milcery. So to find our creamy friend, you gotta run into the shaking grass, and in there, Milcery is going to only spawn 20% of the time. The 6 other Pokemon you can run into is a Galarian Meowth at a 35%, a Wooloo at 25%, a Joltik at 10%, Cutiefly at 5%, Badoo at 4%, and a Ferroseed at a measly 1%. But there's also a way to increase my encounter rate a little bit. If I catch every Pokemon on this route, so Milcery is the only thing showing on the Dex map, this gives Milcery closer to a 30% chance to spawn. I found this info from a Party Arlie video where Brosidon gives her the tech, and if you're like me, I pretty much watched everyone who's ever hunted this full odds Milcery before I attempted the hunt myself. So outside of the odds, I like to think I'm optimizing everything. So we catch everything, even the overworld Pika and Eevee, even the Squavet that is in the tree, and I even get the 10% Goldeen you get from fishing, and we are ready to take on this hunt. We get encounter after encounter, and honestly, I just want something to shine because I expect a phase to happen, and one cool thing about this spot is there's a bunch of nice shinies here that I don't have, and we go over odds. But shortly after, this happens. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, just over odds too. I really wanted the Milcery, but if I was going to phase on anything outside of the 1% Ferrothorn, it had to be Wooloo. Man, this Wooloo looks great though. Come on. Nice. Perfect. And yeah, it's not our target, but shiny Wooloo looks so good, and I'm glad to have one that's full odds. And I name it Milcer Sheep, trying to channel some good luck. And then 4 days later of hunting, we get another shiny. Oh my god. Shiny Joltik. I wasn't paying attention. Is this thing... Oh my god, it is shiny. I knew it. Man. Oh, well, phase 2. Wild. This one I was not expecting. Not expecting at all. I wish it was Milcery, but I'm happy with it. And yeah, Joltilcery isn't as cool as Milcer Sheep, but it's only 2,211 encounters, which feels great compared to the 4,545 for phase 1. But we're on to phase 3. We are on a hot streak, and at 910 encounters the next day, we get another shiny. Oh my god, again. No. And yeah, I'm tired of getting Joltik at this point. And with Meltik added to the squad, I'm running out of Milcery themed names. And we've been hunting so long, actually after we caught this Joltik, our random Eevee in our party that we haven't battled with evolved into a Sylveon. And what's even crazier, through this entire hunt, at one point, someone on my team got Pokérus, spread it to my whole team, and before I realized, my whole party was cured. But phase 4 is once again another short one. And at 1,276 encounters, a couple days later, here's what we find. Oh! Shiny Milcery! Oh! Let's go! Oh, it looks so good! Oh, how many encounters is that? It was 1,276. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, one and done. Oh, Milcery, thank you. Yeah, that hunt was really rewarding and exciting. But when we go to name it, I read the deck's entry and it says, they say that any patisserie visited by Milcery is guaranteed success and fortune. I didn't know what a patisserie was. And after learning that it's this French bakery, I feel plenty fortunate and successful. So I name my Milcery Patisserie. This full odds hunt took a little over 70 hours, including the setup and the 8,942 random encounters. Comparatively, to get the 63 marked Milcery and 63 shiny Milcery in Scarlet and Violet, I made 45 sandwiches, which each are 30 minutes long. So that totals to 1,350 minutes or 22 hours and 30 minutes. So from that, you can see how much more accessible Scarlet and Violet has made getting this full collection. But I will say, I really do cherish my full odds Milcery and had a ton of fun hunting it. And just for fun too, I wanted a shiny Gigantamax Alcremie. So before the full odds hunt on my main profile, I hatched a shiny Milcery in only 72 eggs. Which the harder part of this is actually doing the Dynamax raid so I can get the mushrooms to respawn so I can actually make the soup. Also, look how slow Alcremie moves. I low-key feel bad having her out of her Pokeball because she just cannot keep up. But mushrooms were acquired, we make our soup, and look how amazing Gigantamax Alcremie looks. I'm a huge fan. And with all of that out of the way, it's time to evolve all of the other 125 Milcery. And we do so by spinning. More specifically, the sweet that you give Milcery to hold will be the sweet it wears on its head as Alcremie. And the time of the day combined with the direction that you spin and the length of time that you spin determines what flavor it will be. So I get spinning and spinning and spinning, and we get our vanilla batch done, then the ruby, then the matcha, then salted and lemon, mint, caramel, ruby swirl, and finally the dusk time exclusive rainbow swirl. And we're done with our non-shiny marked batch. And we're on to the shiny batch, which is a bit odd. You can't technically tell the flavors apart with each shiny Alcremie since all the shinies are gray. But if you put them in the box, you can indeed tell that they're different flavors in the shiny forms. But you can see why not too many people hunt all of the shiny Alcremie forms. Finishing up, I evolved my Rainbow Swirl Shinies at dusk, but because of how short of a window dusk is in these games and the fact I only can evolve 6 at a time, I have one final Milcery to evolve to complete this entire journey. I wait another hour and change before dusk returns, and as I do, Skidoo comes and cheers us on, and before we know it, all of his friends gather until we have a full audience. And with Skidoo by our side, we evolve our last Alcremie, and it feels amazing to be finished. Also, I tried to catch the Skidoo because I loved him, but I wasted 2 friend balls followed by accidentally knocking him out, so we don't need to talk about that. But I moved everything in my collection to Pokemon Home, and here's what it looks like. And I mentioned I was going to keep one Alcremie to join my Scarlet party, and I lied. I obviously picked Patisserie, my Milcery, and I could not bring myself to evolve her. I had grown more and more fond of Milcery than I thought I ever would. So I don't need my Milcery to evolve into an Alcremie. I think it's perfect the way it is. But thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. and I will see you in the next video.